What's up? It's your man, Marv Glover.
And the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the chiseled Adonis.
And welcome to the Hold My Nuggets podcast, where we talk 50% sports,
50% real shit, 100% of the time.
And if you don't like that, you can hold my nuggets.
Suck my dick.
Episode number 11.
11. I thought she was going to say it in Spanish.
It's not. I'm not going to make it a continuous thing. I cannot speak Spanish.
Exactly. Makes sense.
I won't do it. Man, I'm in a good mood, man.
Are you?
We live.
Why are you in a big mood, Mr. Marv Glover?
Because I'm sitting across from the Guo can't be two Toho.
Oh,
only
no.
one Toho.
It got nothing to do with me. See, nothing special happened for me today. However,
he's a liar.
There's a little bit of a big news.
It's not
as
news.
Big News Morgans would say on One Piece.
Yeah.
Marv Glover has just been accepted.
Oh, my.
And given an opportunity to perform where? The New York Comedy Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause.
No, you don't have to clap for that.
Round of applause. At Caroline's on Broadway, November 4th. You said Monday night?
Yeah, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
There you go.
If you in New York, if you're not in New York, book yourself a ticket. Fly out to New York. Come see this man, Marv Glover, live. Do his thing, because it may be the best thing going today. Right. Marv Glover.
Wow.
In the New York Comedy Club. It's only a matter of time.
This man is on 100.
It's only a matter of time before we see him on Just for Laughs. Only a matter of time before we see him on Netflix. Only a matter of time before we see him on HBO. Only a matter of time.
Right.
Before he got his own streaming network. Laugh Out Loud Network. Ha ha. Here comes the Marv Glover Network. The man about to take over the game.
You want to know what it is?
He taking over the game.
I know where this energy is coming from. Now, for the people that are watching on YouTube, if you looking closer, you can see that this man is sipping from a Chick-fil-A with a milkshake.
Yeah, it's a milkshake. Only fourth time I ever had Chick-fil-A in my life.
Yeah, how is it, by the way?
It's actually all right. It's kind of good.
Boom,
it's kind
there
of
you
good.
go. Now, we aren't getting sponsored by Chick-fil-A, mind you. So, but if they want to send one, you know the deal. But it's funny that you're talking about big news. We actually just came from Chick-fil-A, right?
Yeah, we did. That's how I got the milkshake.
Oh no, you didn't just get the milkshake. You got a whole lot more than that. We were in the Chick-fil-A minding our own business. The minute this man, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the chiseled Adonis. I got it right?
Son got it right.
Oh, nice. All right. So the minute he walked in the Chick-fil-A, all hell broke loose. Pandemonium took place. Things were falling from the sky. Everybody in the Chick-fil-A stopped. Now, you got to understand how big of a deal that is, because in Chick-fil-A, customer service is pristine. I mean, it's second to none. It's absolutely ridiculous. Bar none. The man stopped customer service at Chick-fil-A. Why? Because they recognized who he was. They recognized the Go Cabrit for the people at home. That means the big goat. The Go Toho can't be two Toho. The only is one Toho. And they said, I literally saw a cashier break into tears when she said, and I quote, "This is the happiest day of my life. I don't know what I would have done if you didn't walk in. I almost offed myself, but thank God for you, the chiseled Adonis, you saved my life." So round of applause for this man. I mean, my goodness. I strive to be like you.
Something tells me that didn't happen.
I strive to be like you, because I don't have that. People do not know who I am, right? I don't have 100,000 plus subscribers on YouTube. You do. I do not average tens of thousands of views on videos. You do. I do not have. I think you just signed a deal with HBO. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say that on the airwaves. I just do comedy shows in basements and bars. That's it. I'm garbage. But this man over here, I strive to be like this man right here. So
the only shred of validity in this story was a cashier did come up to me, handed me my food, recognized who I was. Had a little bit of a moment right there, but outside of that, it's no bigger than the Marv Glover
we're gonna
experience going in to New York Comedy Festival.
I am garbage.
And yet here you are. You know how many festivals I've auditioned for?
How many?
2. You know how many I've gotten into?
3.
None. I mean, but Marv Glover gotten into the festival, okay?
Know, it's a beautiful thing when you can take out a loan for $10,000 and beg the people at Caroline's to let you go on stage. Because that's the only way I'm getting on. Because I am garbage. I'm trash. I promise you. I'm not good. But this man over here, I mean, you set the standard. The Go to War. I mean, the podcast is called the Chiseled Adonis podcast. The Hold My Nuggets is a front. Right? For
is
what this really is. It might as well be.
I mean, fair enough. In all aspects, I mean, it kind of is my podcast. Because who really show up like, yo, we about to come and listen to Marv Glover? Because nobody online know about Marv Glover. Everybody in person know Marv Glover. See, that's a whole difference.
Wait a minute.
When I'm online, I'm the man. In real life, I'm a loser. Marv Glover.
He's a liar.
In person?
I'm trash.
People, it was we was on our way driving here. We stopped at a red light. Somehow a lady got into the car and started performing fellatio. I don't know what happened.
Wait.
All of a sudden, it was going down. This man was it. Whoa! Listen, he was just trying to drive. He had 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake, third leg in the mouth. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
Wait.
I was in the car like, what just happened?
Are spreading lies.
What just happened?
You are spreading lies. This man here. Headlines all across the country. One of the most prominent names in the comedy game right now. I'm trying to tell you, we was in the Chick-fil-A. I can't make this up. I tried to, I try to get some clout. I'm like, hey, I'm his friend too. Everyone in the Chick-fil-A wanted to slapbox me from trying to take away that moment from them. Understandably so, because he is the Chisel Adonis. I just strive to be like him. But nonetheless, this is the Hold My Nuggets podcast where we talk, And I'm happy to be here today.
Are you?
Yeah, because we had episode. They didn't think we was gonna make it to 11. Bro.
They didn't think we were gonna make it to 11.
You heard what they were saying, right? Actually,
what were they saying?
They were saying it's quite something. They said we're garbage. We're finished. We're done.
It's funny you say that because episode 11 is a big episode because they got 2 ones.
All right, don't do that.
They got 2 ones in it, but I know a team.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That added a 1 as well.
Oh, come on. No, let's
but not in the win column like my Pittsburgh Steelers. We talking about them Boyz, Dick, Zeke, Amari Cooper, Jason Witten, Blake Jarwin, Randall Cobb. We got Jalen Smith, Vander Esch, Byron Jones, Tank Lawrence,
yes, sir.
Jerry Jones, Skip Bayless.
Don't forget me.
Mike Irvin,
Marv Glover,
Troy Aikman.
I'm part of the team.
Tony Romo.
But I'm a part of the team. I'm really trying
Drew Pearson. We're going back to the 70s.
Okay, wow.
Randy White. No, we talking about those Dallas Cowboys that just took that L on Sunday Night Football.
Okay, wow.
Okay, so you explain to me what happened to Big Dak, a Big Zeke, a Big Coop, a Big L. That's all I saw this past Sunday. Now, I'm not one to talk trash, but every single time we done showed up on the podcast after a big Cowboys win where we beat people who not contenders, he came and rubbed his mouth all over the table, ran his mouth all over the mic, took his nutsack out, and said, oh, we the best team in the league. Where that's at now?
We are.
Because it looked like they just got exposed.
Why'd you do that? Okay. Right.
Exposed. What happened?
Is it my turn? Can I speak?
What happened?
No, am I allowed to speak?
Tell me what's happened.
All right. This past Sunday, for those of you who didn't know, the Dallas Cowboys went into the Mercedes. What is it? They call the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Yes.
Yeah, the New Orleans Saints spot. And Big Dak, Big Zeke, Big Coop, Big me. We was Lil Dak. We was Lil Zeke. We was Lil Coop. Still Big me because I'm Big Marv.
Oh, by all means, New York Comedy Festival.
Well, because I'm sitting across from Chisel Dons. But nonetheless, I was hurt. I really was. It was a tough sight to behold. What happened in the game? Well, let's break it down. First quarter, neither team was really able to get anything going on. I think that the Dallas pass rush did a great job of pressuring Teddy Bridgewater. After that interception that they got in the first drive, the interception that it wasn't really I think like Ted Ginn
got hands for decoration.
Him and Nelson Aguilar come from the same family tree, just a brick hand.
Oh yeah. Put him at Times Square on New Year's. They get a job done.
It is absolutely terrible, right? So first half wasn't really much going on. In first quarter, the Saints they had a little bit of something going when they after Teddy Bridgewater got picked off. Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill, they got a little bit involved, right? So
they ran over Xavier Woods.
Yeah,
he ate a whole lot of shoulder pad that evening. Oh yeah,
whole lot of that boy Taysom Hill's a dog.
You want to know why? Because that's how the white man run the football.
Indeed it is. And Taysom Hill, dog. Him and McCaffrey probably come from the same family tree.
Oh, without question. Blue eyes, white privilege. They came to play. They came to play.
Right? So that was going on. They tried to, and the Dallas Cowboys, they tried to get Zeke going on early on, but he wasn't even, Zeke, we're going to talk about him a little bit. That was hard to watch. So they tried to get Zeke.
Last I saw, I'm sorry to cut you off, but last I saw, Zeke was wearing a dress after the game with a wig on and his phone in his hand saying, "Whoo, child, the Saints had some good D."
Well, why? Don't quote the meme. Don't quote the meme. Don't you dare.
I'm just saying.
Don't be disrespectful. Be disrespectful.
Hey, he was eating some L's and a whole lot of Saints D.
Oh, wow. That is.
But please go on.
Yeah. So first quarter wasn't really much going on. It would have been nice to see Dak in the first quarter get a play where he would have been able to use his legs a little bit. I think there was one play in particular where it wasn't set up for him to run, but the play broke down. And I think he had like like 15, 20. I don't know. Fuck it. Second quarter comes. More or less of the same, right? Nobody's really able to get anything going. Now, I'm surprised that they kept putting the ball in Teddy Bridgewater's hands, because going back to the last episode, I remember telling you I wasn't concerned about the Saints at all, right? Moving forward, I think that if they centered the offense around their main playmakers, which were and still are Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill, they were going to be fine, right?
Can't forget Michael Thomas.
Can't forget Michael Thomas, right? But you got glimpses of that in the first quarter, but for whatever reason, they kept putting the ball in Teddy Bridgewater's hand, right? And for the most part, he held it down. Right?
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
And even though, and the Dallas pass rush was definitely putting pressure on him, but he definitely did hold it down. But I would have liked to see them run the ball more through Hill and Kamara. I think that what killed Dallas that could have been capitalized on by the Saints was the back-to-back fumble.
Yes, second quarter.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
Jason Witten and then Zeke Elliott. Yeah. Here's the thing. Jason Witten was advancing the ball, and then he fumbled. How this man fumbled, that's football 101. You're you got to tuck that ball. High and tight. Tom Coughlin, Tiki Barber. It's simple. Right. High and tight. You're not going to fumble. Adrian Peterson had that problem. All right, LaShawn McCoy run wild. Jason Witten wasn't even running wild. He just fumbled. You a vet. World War II veteran. You got to make sure you protect the football. The Zeke fumble.
That surprised me.
That was interesting. But more importantly, looking at the replay in super slow motion, it's a bang-bang sort of call. I think if they marked him down by contact and the Saints challenged, the Saints would have lost. Okay. But because of what they called on the field, there was nothing, I guess the word is inconclusive or conclusive, whichever one of those two words it is. There was nothing there to overturn the call clearly. So the back-to-back fumbles really hurt Dallas, because that drive with Witten when he fumbled, it appeared that they were driving, and even if they don't score a touchdown, you get 3 points. On the Zeke one, it looked as if they could have possibly put together a drive and still nothing. From what I saw, the first 5 possessions of the Saints, they were able to get 3 points. Okay. And they put the ball through the uprights. I think they scored 3 out of their first 5 possessions. I believe so, or something like that. So you got 9 points. The Cowboys, back-to-back fumbles, 1 field goal. If you're trying to win games, you got to score more than your opponent. More importantly, don't make it easier for your opponent.
Right. So you go into the third quarter and the second half. Now, that's where things really started to pick up, right? In the third quarter, I think there was only 3 drives in total, because they had the first drive, I think, where the Saints punted.
Yeah, they punted.
Right, and then the 2 back-to-back long drives where Dallas, I think, went like 15 plays or something like that.
Dallas went 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay.
But the Saints drive went 9.
Okay, gotcha.
When they ended with a field goal. I believe they went 9. Dallas had a long drive, but it felt as if it was forever. But in time, it was shorter than the Saints drive, if I'm correct. So that was interesting.
Dak Prescott led them down the field, and then Zeke ended up running it in for his one and only touchdown of the game. But it was really a gimme. It was on the 1-yard line. Still doesn't dismiss his poor performance that night. We're going to get into that a little bit later. And then Nola comes back down. They drive the ball down the field. Now, I think they get all the way down to Dallas's 8.
Yes.
And I think it was 4th and 2, right? If I'm them, I actually would have went for it. I understand why they kicked the field goal, but given on that play, like I said, you put it in Kamara or Taysom Hill's hands, you don't think they can get you that too? I think they can get you that too.
I would have still kicked the field goal.
Why
because
is that?
I'm losing. It's 10-9.
Okay.
So even if I score a touchdown, I would have to go for 2, and that would still only give me a 7-point lead. Because I'm down by 1.
But given the way that the game is going, I'd feel more secure.
Because there's a possibility if I don't get it, I'm still behind.
Fair enough.
If it was a tie game, then be aggressive all day.
Right.
But kick that field goal, take the points, take the lead, and then have the hope that you'll get back down there, which they did in the fourth quarter. They didn't quite make it to inside the 20.
Right.
Because Bridgewater took a sack that he didn't need to take against Jalen Smith,
right?
Which was wild too, because they were at the Dallas 31,
right?
And he took the 16-yard sack and pushed them back to the 47.
So
they were in field goal range and could have set it up to where it's a 4-point lead, and you force, a 5-point lead, and you force Dallas to have to score a touchdown.
Right.
The benefit that Dallas had on their last possession was, although they started after the Prescott sack inside their own 5, they had an opportunity. All we just need is 3. If you can put the pressure on a team and they have to go and score a touchdown, the defense feels way more comfortable.
Right. For me, in the fourth quarter, and then, like addressed. You go into the fourth quarter, just punt, back and forth. This team punt, that team punt. Last drive for the Saints play, Teddy Bridgewater can't get a sack. He ultimately ends up getting sacked. Once again, that pass rush just all night long. Finally get to him when it matters most, right? They punt the ball. Dallas, I believe they had it on at the 10, I believe. No, it was on the I forget.
It was like maybe the 13,
no, the 14.
14.
It was 14.
It was a teen something.
So the first play of that drive is ultimately when I knew we were going to have to, if we were going to win that game, it was going to be on a play.
When he took the sack?
When he took the sack, right? Because it's not only that he took the sack, but then also he takes the sack. They get pushed back, I believe, to the 5.
Yeah.
But then you remember he falls on
Tyron. He fell on like the 3 or something like that.
No, the left side, Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
He rolls his ankle, and then he ends up getting a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
He comes out. Cameron Fleming comes in to replace him, right? And then, Cameron Fleming comes in to replace him. The next play, Marcus Davenport, I think his name is, the one of the defensive ends for the Saints.
Yeah.
He puts pressure on. And from there, it's like they're basically playing from it's second and, what was it?
Yeah, I think that's when he was trying to he was throwing it towards the right, and the pressure got to him. Because I remember the very next play, he was able to find
Zeke. I think he got Zeke.
Was it Zeke? But perhaps it was Zeke.
I think it was Zeke. Yeah. But fact of the matter is, after he took that sack, after he got sacked, and then Tyron Smith went down. So Tyron Smith went down. I ultimately knew it was over because you don't have Gallup. Remember, you got to remember, Amari Cooper wasn't 100% that game, and it definitely showed because I think the leader receiver for that game wasn't even Coop. It was Jason Witten. He had like 4 receptions for like 50 yards or whatever the case may be. We're at the 3-yard line, so from there we're literally living on a prayer, and then that throws his only interception in the game, which was the Hail Mary. Had no fucking.
He connected with Coop. No, not Coop. He connected with he hit Amari Cooper to move the chains.
He did,
and then after that he hit Randall Cobb and put them in a position to put up the Hail Mary pass.
Right.
However, it fell about 15 yards short, and he got rocked. People were calling, there should be a roughing. No.
You don't think
he
so?
got hit clean.
Okay.
He got hit clean. It wasn't high. It was in the chest. It wasn't late. It was on time.
Gotcha.
So, and looking at the replay, look at it like this. Put your team in the defense's position. Do you think if they threw a roughing the passer call right there, would you feel, they got us? Nah, that was clean. He got hit in his shoulder pad. It was in the right area. He underthrew the ball. If they were trying to do some sort of hook and ladder from that area, that ain't it. Maybe back to the Randy Moss days where he caught it and tossed it over his back and the guy ran it into the end zone, but it wasn't going to happen. He don't have enough arm strength. He got to go to the Aaron Rodgers Academy of Hail Mary.
Don't be disrespectful.
But Dallas ended up on the L train. First loss of the season, but of course it doesn't faze Dallas fans because
I'm chilling.
12-game win streak.
I'm chilling.
3-game win streak in the playoffs.
I'm good.
And you're hosting up that 6.
I'm good.
Are you?
I'm good. But no, I think the question now is it's interesting that we get our first loss of the season, right? And a lot of people expected us to lose given the first 3 teams that we played. We opened up the season against the Giants, then we play the Redskins, and then after that we play who's the last team we played? Fucking
Dolphins.
There you go. Right. So everyone's like, okay, wait for it. It's coming. We're we're overrated. All this other bullshit. Now the word that I hear getting tossed around a lot is exposed. The Dallas Cowboys, we got exposed by the New Orleans Saints. And given you aren't a Cowboys fan, so you'll be objective about this. I'll try and be objective about this. Do you think that my Dallas Cowboys, given the performance that they have been exposed?
No, okay. No. I think people overshot how good they were in the first 3 games? Absolutely. But I still go by the moniker of football is football. You play who lines up against across from you. So you can't choose who your opponent is. You got to show up and play. If I beat 3 consecutive teams 59-0, but they all happen to be 0-3 by the time we get to week 4, that ain't on me.
Right.
All I know is I handed them 1 L.
Right.
So the Cowboys were playing exceptional for the first 3 games. However, the Saints is a very capable team.
Right.
Even though Drew Brees is not there, that's only offense. The Saints defense came to play. Marshall Lattimore was playing like absolute garbage the first 3 games.
He was.
Garbage. But I believe it was Chris Collinsworth who said something about this man wakes up when he knows he has a big matchup ahead of him. This man shows up playing like freaking Aeneas Williams or not Deion Sanders, but like Aeneas Williams, like Champ Bailey. He starts locking people up because Coop was pretty much a non-factor.
Basically.
And he came to play. And that secondary was guarded. More importantly, the pass rush they weren't necessarily getting to Dak often like that.
They were bringing some pressure.
But yeah, they were bringing pressure to where it made him weary and uncomfortable. And the run game wasn't working. So now it's like, oh, wait a minute, we're not balanced here. So, Dak, you got to go and get us the game.
Right.
And outside of the tight ends, he didn't really get any help everywhere else.
Right.
Would I say they're exposed? No, because not every team is going to be like the Saints defense playing in the Superdome.
Right. Just to piggyback off the point of Shane, were we exposed? Absolutely not.
Oh, boy.
Watch your mouth. Stop being disrespectful, right? But to piggyback off your point, listen, if we're going off the performance we had, let's just call it what it is. First and foremost, Dak was limited in terms of the receiving options that he had available to him. Going back to what I said earlier, Amari Cooper is not 100%. He got an MRI for the ankle. We don't necessarily know what the issue is, but he's not 100%, right? That you have that. Gallup is out. We don't know when he's coming back. They're saying that they won't rule out that he'll be coming back. He should be able to come back for the Green Bay game. We'll see. I don't know. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But the fact of the matter is, his receiving options were limited in him. The tight end play is really what stepped up. You had Blake Jarwin had that big
catch.
Yeah, that set up. I think the touchdown.
Set up the touchdown.
Yeah, right. And his number one for the day was Jason Witten, who had 4 catches for 50 yards, albeit the one fumble he had. But that's really all he had. But then when you look at outside of the game in its entirety, you look at what Dak put up. He was 22 for 33, 223 yards, 67 completion rate. The one interception he had was the Hail Mary. It is what it is with that, right? But then you look at Ezekiel Elliott, 18 carries, 35 yards, 1.9 yards per carry. The longest run that he had that night was 6 yards.
Yep.
I don't think that my Dallas Cowboys have been exposed. I think they just got reminded of what our true identity is, which is we are a team that needs to run first.
Absolutely.
Fact of the matter is this. The team goes where Zeke goes as far as Zeke goes, right? And he cannot continue to put up performances like this. Now, granted, I think that this was a bit of an anomaly, right? He had just came back off 2 back-to-back games, 100-plus yard games, albeit they were against 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. Fact of the matter is, this man has led the league in rushing, I believe, two
of the last 3 years.
One of the best in the game right now. Arguably still the best running back to some people, right? But the fact of the matter is, you cannot only rush for 35 yards against a team like this that we might end up seeing in the playoffs again. Who, for all we know, don't know, might happen, might not. I think, like I said, we haven't gotten exposed. I think it's just a matter of us remembering our identity moving forward. I think that Amari Cooper has to get healthy. Michael Gallup has to come back. Tyron Smith, our starting left tackle, has to get back. And once that happens, we'll be good.
So tell me, seeing what just transpired and knowing that you have to play through Zeke.
Yeah.
If you want to see a W.
Yeah.
Coming to town.
Say it.
Is it in Dallas?
Say it. Yes, it is. Say it. Bring it. I'm hyped. I'm going to tell you why I'm hyped.
The Green Bay Packers are coming to town. And last I recall, the last 2 times, the Green Bay Packers went 1-on-1 with them boys. Aaron Rodgers, last minute, leads his Packers to victory. Every time I see these 2 teams meet up, I sit comfortable because it don't matter what happens until the 2-minute warning. If that ball is in A.A. Ron's hands,
it's slow. It's slow.
It's going to be slow for them boys. So the way I see it is, this upcoming game, if I was the Cowboys, I'd be excited because that Packers defense
is basura.
On the run. No, I wouldn't say they're basura because coming into week 4, they were the number 2 ranked defense.
I'll explain why. Go ahead.
Against the run, this past week against the Eagles, you gave up 83 yards to Jordan Howard. You gave up 77 yards to Miles Sanders.
Who had the 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns. I believe that was...
I think it was Sanders.
No. I think that might have been Howard.
Was it Howard or Sanders? Someone had 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
3 rushing touchdowns on the day.
It might have... No.
I think it was Sanders.
Perhaps it was. No, I don't think it was 3 rushing, but I think collectively it must have been 3 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Whatever the case was. But on the ground, the Packers had better come to play because if Zeke has an opportunity to run the football effectively, the Packers are in trouble. But outside of that, I will always trust in Aaron Rodgers going against a Jerry Jones team. But for you, are you concerned?
Am I concerned? I'm going to tell you why I'm not. It's a dub Nina. All right? It's a dub Nina. We're catching a dub. Easy dub. I'm going to tell you why. You talk about the run. I'm going to get to that a little bit after that. But the main point for me is this. Devontae Adams is expected to be out for that game. All right, he's expected to be. I think he has like turf toe. I don't know what the fuck that is. You know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, something with your toe. I never got turf toe. Okay. I've always looked at people. Oh, you got turf toe. What if we playing on grass?
Fact of the matter is, he's expected to be out for the game. They still haven't officially confirmed it, but reports are saying that's what it's looking like. And he's the leading receiver for that team. You got to understand. I'm looking at the stats right now. Devontae Adams going into this upcoming week, he has 378 receiving yards on the season. That's 161 more yards than their second leading receiver, which I think was a Valdez. Scantling.
Marquez, Valdez.
And the
Scantling.
That's how you say his name?
Oh, yeah.
And then third.
Geronimo Allison, I think.
No.
Oh, Jimmy Graham?
287 more yards than him, right? So he's Aaron Rodgers' big play guy, right? So now for me, I think he had like 15 targets and 15 targets and 10 receptions in the Philly game that they just played, right? So the fact of the matter is he's not going to be there, right? So there's that. But then you also, you talked about it before, the run. Right, you got to remember, Green Bay is not only ranked 26th against the rush, but they're ranked 26th rushing the football. Aaron Jones, outside of the game, I think he played against the Minnesota Vikings, hasn't rushed for more than 40 yards so far this season. He's gonna get smacked shut. Like he also is a non-factor. Right, so when you look at what Aaron Rodgers is playing with, he's limited. He doesn't have his number one guy. He can't rely on the run game. So for me and my Dallas Cowboys, we're excited. More importantly for Zeke, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm expecting Zeke to have a very big game.
I expect that too.
Against this run defense, for me, I'm going to go ahead and say I expect him to have 150 on the day with 2 tuds. That's my expectation of it. Yes, 150 on the day and 2 tuds. And I think on the season, his longest run has been for, 10, 15 yards? Somewhere in the line. One of those tuds is going to be a big run. Okay. I don't know what, but I'm calling it 150, 2 TDs on the day. Because against that run defense, against a team that doesn't have their number one receiving option, that can't run the football effectively, there is no reason why we cannot win. And we're at Jerry. It's one thing if we're at at Green Bay. We're at home. I think it's going to be a W for us. Is it going to be an easy W? No, because as long as Aaron Rodgers is on the field, I am nervous. I'm afraid. I'll admit it. The man, he's a bad motherfucker, right? But I'm rolling with my team. I'm not concerned at all. I think
it's going to be a very good game. I'm still going to roll with Green Bay coming on the road, walking into Jerry World to get the job done. I believe it's going to be a very close game.
Why being
Let me tell you why. No, it's not being disrespectful. I expect Zeke to have a sensational game. Dak, because Zeke will have such a big game, and it'll be very similar to what happened against New Orleans last year, where Zeke sets up a ton of third and manageable situations, and Dak thrives on third and manageable.
Right.
But because of how the offense of the Packers operates, and Aaron Rodgers, he needs that run game. Well, let me not say need. It's beneficial to him if he has that run game. But if he does not, he is crafty enough to utilize his arm and make stuff happen. Regardless of who lines up, I believe Aaron Rodgers will be able to take advantage of those Dallas corners, who are no slouches.
Right.
But they come to play. But I think the middle of the field, this is going to be murderous for Jimmy Graham.
Okay.
He should be able to kill those Dallas linebackers in coverage. Okay. When it comes to blocking, get him out. Jimmy Graham can't block at all. He couldn't find a block if he bought a box of Legos. Basically, if they can utilize Jimmy Graham in the passing game, get him those 15 targets that would have went to Devontae Adams, you'll still be fine.
Okay.
Utilize Aaron Jones in the small intermediate pass game, whether it's a screen, whether it's a couple of, flare outs from him, some bubble routes, all those other stuff. Utilize him there, because trying to run the ball, that Dallas linebacking core going to get him.
Oh, we're going to clap him
But the way I see it is, I believe in Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be enough to get him the W.
If you had to predict the score right now.
You got to predict the score. I'm going to go with a, let's say 21-17.
Green Bay. Got you. Okay, cool. I'm going to go 28-21. Dallas. And we're going to roll with that. But Aaron Rodgers definitely is a bad man. He's a bad motherfucker. But there's another quarterback.
Oh, who played like a bad man.
Oh, yeah. This past weekend. He's not notoriously a bad man. He's known for doing bad things. Like turning the ball over. But he's looking good now. He's looking all right. I think Bruce Arians is getting to him. And that dude, that man is Winston, Jameis? Jameis, Winston?
Jameis Crab Legs Winston?
Don't be disrespectful.
Jameis Crab Legs Winston. It was seafood out there.
He was, don't let him get in the Uber with you. That's a whole
no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I had to. I was right there. I had to.
Don't do that.
Jameis Winston. Your boy. That's your guy, right? Anyways, Jameis Winston. I think they were at Los Angeles.
Yeah, they were in Los Angeles.
And it was a shootout. It was an absolute shootout.
Was it necessarily a shootout? Because it started out as a blowout.
Yeah.
And then Jared, don't be a liability. Goff happened to come and bring the Rams back. But it goes without saying.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay offensively can be a monster as long as they take care of the football, because they jumped out to a 21-0 lead.
Most definitely.
They went down the field on the opening drive, scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
The Rams did nothing.
Yeah.
Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers happened to capitalize on a Rams interception, turned it into points. They capitalized on another Rams interception, turned it into points. And as quick as you can blink your eyes, they took a 21-point lead. What did you think about the Rams' performance? More importantly, what did you think about Jameis' performance? The poise that he had against the defending NFC champion.
Jameis Winston. Well, he's not my guy. I don't fuck with him. Anyways, Jameis Winston. I was, you know what? I don't want to go as far as to say I was impressed, but I was happy to see it. I don't really know what other word I could use, but it was good. Because look, when we look at the last 3 games, Jameis Winston has definitely stepped his game up. When we exclude the first game that they played against who did they play in the first game? Who Tampa Bay played in the first game?
In the first game of the season, the Bucs, they played against the
49ers. Yeah. He stunk it up. But when you look at his performance in the last 3 games, Jameis Winston on the season in the last 3 games, 973 yards, 65% completion rate. But the number that matters the most, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 0 fumbles. Now, that for me is the most important thing, because you know, just as well as I know, his biggest problem, the biggest red flag, the biggest concern, the talk of Jameis Winston. When you think of Jameis Winston, you think of Apple what?
Turnovers.
Boom. And now,
Eli Manning challenge.
There you go. And right now, I think that for me, I'm just happy to see that slowly but surely he's starting to take better care of the football, right? I did bring up his numbers from throughout the last 3 games. When you kind of break it down, in the first game that he played against Carolina, he only had 1 touchdown on the game, albeit he did make some key throws, but it wasn't really that big of a deal to me. And then after that, the performance he put up against the New York Giants, still impressive, but it was really more of the Mike Evans show against Janoris Jenkins, because Lord have mercy, that was definitely hard to watch, right? But his the performance he had against the Los Angeles Rams impressed me the most, given the fact that he was able to spread out the football more. And on top of that, I don't know if you know, but he actually had the highest QBR this past week of all the quarterbacks with that.
Really?
QBR rating of 89. Most
That's
definitely.
nice.
But he was able to spread the ball out. 2 touchdowns to Godwin, 1 touchdown to Mike Evans, another one to Cameron Brate. I thought it was beautiful to see. Now, as for the Los Angeles Rams side of the ball, what did you see when you were watching the game?
I saw desperation.
Really?
Because Todd Gurley was pretty much a non-factor, because you fall back 21-0. You're not going to go and, hey, let's run the ball. No, you got to pass. So Jared Goff had to go out there and throw. What surprised me,
68 times.
Yeah, it was wild. 68 times. 68 times. What shocked me was the lack of protection.
Yeah.
Shaquille Barrett, through 4 games, looks like Lawrence Taylor.
9 sacks.
This man is ruining left tackle's life. What he did in Carolina should be criminal. Right. What he did to Andrew Whitworth was interesting. Is it Andrew Whitworth?
Andrew Whitworth. Yeah.
So I know it's Whitworth. I just had to make sure his first name wasn't messed up.
He came from the Bengals, right?
Oh yeah, he came from the Bengals. But he was working. Yeah. He had to take his lunch pail to work.
Yeah, he got
all right. And Jared Goff was under duress damn near the entire game. And I'll say this. Although those 3 interceptions that he threw, the 2 early ones were bad. Now, although he did get the pass rush that happened on the other side, but given the situation, they were bad. He brought them back. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, all these guys were able to find pay dirt and get their way back into the game. And I'll say this. If I'm the Rams, like I said, with desperation, their back was against the wall. They fought all the way back. Then Marcus Peters, the pick 6, went to McDonald's, got a pick 6, and they were down by 5.
Right.
Then Tampa just goes straight down the field and scores. Goes up 8. That final possession, the offensive line completely let them down. Because the feel of it was the Rams about to tie up the game. They're going to go for 2, and they're going to fail on the 2-point conversion. But outside of that, I thought they were going to be able to go down the field. But that old line, it starts and ends with them. They let them down.
It's been absolutely abysmal. Go real quick just to touch on one more before I address the Rams thing. Just to touch on one more thing with the Jameis Winston thing. Once again, I'm happy to see the progression that he's made. Given that I remember before the season, I was even talking to you about it, like, off air, I was talking about how I personally felt like it was time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to move on from Jameis, right? Given that Dwayne Haskins was a big name within the draft, they had an opportunity to snatch him before the Giants, who we thought were going to take him, was going to get him, but they ended up getting what's son's name, Devin White or Devin?
Yeah, Devin White.
Devin White or whatever case may be, and they hired. I think I even when they hired Bruce Arians, I was still a proponent.
I recall
of
that conversation.
Yeah, I was like, yo, it's time for him to go, because my biggest problem with him wasn't just his issues on the field, but also his issues off the field. You're a quarterback. You're a leader of a team. You got dealing with crab legs this and Uber ride that and all these other different situations. But the fact of the matter is, like I said, slowly but surely to see the progression that he's making, taking care of the football, which is the only thing. His talent is undeniable, but the fact of the matter is, you got to take care of the football.
And recall,
right,
when we had that conversation, I kept my foot on the gas of I believe in Jameis.
You did.
I believe in Jameis. And I've been singing the Bucks praises for years.
Right.
Because I believe Jameis can be a special player. It just takes the right time, takes the right coach, and Bruce Arians is the guy that can get him over the hump. He's had the pieces, but he hasn't had that coach to really dig in to his skin, really scratch the nails into his epidermis and get this man to play good football. And now he's got Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles. They had a magnificent tandem out there when they were in Arizona. And here they are right now. Shaquille Barrett's playing out of his mind. That Bucks defensive line is coming to play. Sue is doing well with Jericho McCoy's number. If they can just operate as a well-oiled machine, we can finally see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to the playoffs led by Jameis Winston.
Most definitely. And it's only a matter of time, so I'm definitely happy to see that. But then going back to the Rams side of the ball, my goodness. I mean, look, first and foremost, 68 the Rams are in have a similar situation that my Dallas Cowboys have, with at the end of the day, the offense goes as far as Todd Gurley goes. Fact of the matter is that you put the ball in Jared Goff's hands 68 times, as talented as he is, and he's a good quarterback. It goes through Todd Gurley, man. Granted, given that they, like you said, they went down 21-0, so they weren't able to rush the ball as much as that. But he only had 5 touches on the day.
5 touches.
5
carries. I think 5 catches for like 54 yards or something like that. He had 5 carries for like 17,
something like that. 35 actually, and then I think.
Really? That was more than I expected.
And then he had, I believe he had like 6 or 7 receptions.
Yeah, for 54. I know he had like 54 yards, 64, something like that.
Listen, if Todd Gurley only carries the ball 5 times, it's over.
It's a problem.
It's absolutely over. And quite frankly, I personally, I mean, the past 3 games, he hasn't really been looking like himself all that much.
Yeah, he just had that 100-yard game, and he had another game. I think it was the first game where he had 97 yards, but it was a very quiet 97.
Right.
Todd Gurley hasn't had that game outside of the last game where it said, "Oh, that's Todd Gurley on the field." It was just very pedestrian sort of feel. It's one of those. He's having one of those seasons where you'll look at the end of the season like, he really had numbers like that. Wait a minute.
Right. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, for me, a lot of concern is circling around the Los Angeles Rams, even though this is their only the first loss of the season. But for me, I think that I'm more interested to see what happens these next 2 games, because now you got 2 back-to-back divisional games. I think they go at the next game is at Seattle, right? And I think that's this Thursday, actually. So they're at Seattle this Thursday. And then after that, they go up against the 49ers. That's going to be at home. I still personally believe that the Los Angeles Rams are still the team to beat within the NFC West. It's still too early for it to switch up. But fact of the matter is, these 2 back-to-back games for me are going to be the ultimate litmus test to see what this team really is, coming off of the Super Bowl loss that you just came off of.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree.
Yeah.
But that begs the question now regarding like the NFC West, right?
Yeah.
And since we got a question because I judge football from quarter, so first 4 games, next 4 games, final 4 games, all these other things. Because I feel as if you judge football from a week by week basis, you're never gonna have a true analysis of what's going on with a team.
Right.
Given the season just started. You have to give teams an opportunity to build a pattern. Right. Hence why when you see somebody like a Gardner Minshew go out there and sling it all day, if you only got 1 game of tape, you can't truly break this man down. Now you have a month. So teams that's going to be seeing him from week 5 through 17, you got an opportunity to sit here like, all right, this is this guy. This is what he does. He does this. He does that. Now you can truly start to break things down. Right. But here's my question to you. Through 1 quarter of the season, who is the best and worst team in the division?
Which division are we talking about?
So let's start NFC. We just came off the
NFC
NFC West.
So
we'll go NFC West. Best team in the NFC West, worst team in the NFC West.
Best team in the NFC West right now to me is, like I said, I think it still goes through the Los Angeles Rams.
All right.
Fact of the matter is that when you look at, granted, I think they're third right now in their division, right? I think the 49ers are number one, and then the Seattle Seahawks are number two. But when you look at the competition that both those teams played, I think both teams played the Bengals, I believe. Like they played two.
Yes.
Yeah, they played the competition that they faced up until this point. They haven't really been some of the more premier contenders within the NFC or within the entire NFL, right? I think that, like I said, these next two games are going to be big proving grounds for all three teams within the NFC West, because now, like, especially for the Los Angeles Rams, given that they're coming off a loss. But for me, I think that right now the Los Angeles Rams are still the best team in the NFC West.
Worst team in the NFC West?
Oh, come on. The Cardinals.
All right,
I didn't even have to think about it. Come on.
No sort of thing. I would agree. Rams the best. Although I want to lean towards the 49ers.
It's too early. It's too early. I don't have all that much faith.
You got a W over a Bucks team with 2 pick sixes.
Right.
Come from behind victory.
Right.
But the Buccaneers at that time,
still wasn't really into it.
You beat Pittsburgh in a very nitty-gritty game. You showed your poise after having 5 turnovers.
Right.
So that's a hell of a victory right there.
Most definitely.
And then you shellacked a Cincinnati Bengals team. So I can't give it to you just yet. Seattle, they're always Seattle. But from where I stand right now, the Rams the best, and the Cardinals bottom feeders. Yeah. NFC North. Listen, I think the NFC North is probably one of the most interesting divisions in all of the NFL. Just talent galore. But for me, I'm going to go, I say the Green Bay Packers. Okay.
I think the Green Bay Packers are the best team. Now, they have, and it's only for one reason and one reason only. They have something that the 3 other teams don't have. They have an Aaron Rodgers, right?
Absolutely.
I wanted to give this to the Bears just because of how stellar that defense is. But the fact of the matter is, the case is still, the jury is still out on Mitchell Trubisky. Now, given he's going to be out the next couple of weeks with the shoulder injury, I think Chase Daniel is going to be the one that's stepping in for him. That only makes the situation even worse because their offense has really underperformed these past couple of games. So for me, you have that. Then you also have the
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. They have looked impressive the last couple of games, but the fact of the matter is I can't call you the best team in the NFC North when you tied one of the worst teams in the NFL and the Cardinals opening up the season. So for me, I'm going to roll with the Green Bay Packers. Who do you think is the best?
I'd say the Packers for the same reasons. Aaron Rodgers with the questions to the Bears quarterback situation. That's going to be interesting moving forward. So I can't give it to the Bears, although they have probably the best defense in the NFL, arguably.
Yeah.
Then you have the Minnesota Vikings is clearly the worst. But
we're going to get to that
the Lions, they're on their way, but not just yet. Given that tie to the Cardinals, they've overperformed since.
Right.
They should have closed the game out against Kansas City, but unfortunately they did not.
Right.
So I'm still going to roll with the Packers to be the best team in that. And as I said earlier, the Vikings, they're the bottom feeders.
Listen, let's talk about the Vikings real quick. Do you know that Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, and Stephon Diggs, I think they're the highest paid QB wide receiver trio
perhaps
in all of the NFL. And they're ranked dead last in the past. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The offense, excluding Dalvin Cook, because he's been balling, has been absolutely disgusting. And for me, as great as Dalvin Cook has been, the fact of the matter is this team apparently goes as far as Kirk Cousins is taking him. And this man is getting paid to be below average. It's absolutely disgusting. And I'm assuming you agree the same thing with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're Minnesota needs help.
Yeah.
They need help. Revive the spirit of Randall Cunningham, Randy Moss, and Chris Carter. Because they need it. They need it desperately. Now let's go to the NFC South.
Yeah.
Who would you have as the best team in the NFC South?
Like I said, it's still the Saints. Going back to the injury with Drew Brees, he's not going to be out for the entire season. He's going to be back within the next, 3 to 4 weeks or something like that.
Yep.
I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. This team is too talented on the offensive side of the ball, right, for Teddy Bridgewater to F this up. All you have to do is protect the football and not turn it over. Protect the football and be efficient on third down. Let Kamara, let Taysom Hill, let what's the boy's name? Michael motherfucking Thomas do all the dirty work for you, and this team will be perfectly fine. And when you look at the schedule, so far they've won how many? Two back-to-back games. They're going to be perfectly fine. I still think that this division goes through the Saints. They're still Super Bowl contenders. For me, I'm going with the Saints. Who do you think is the best?
I agree. I believe the Saints are still the best. They have a very capable team. They're still the team that went to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
And Drew Brees will be returning at one point, so Teddy just got to hold it down. As for the worst, it's them boys in Atlanta. I don't know what is going on. That offensive line is not helping.
Garbage.
Matt Ryan at all.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's on the side all damn day screaming because they have virtually no run game. Their defense is incoherent. He's trying to throw the ball to different receivers. Nobody outside of Julio Jones decided to show up. Right. I don't know what's going on, but Atlanta right now is not looking good. At one point, Jermaine Dupri said, "Welcome to Atlanta where the players play." Well, evidently they ain't playing.
Not at all. And I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think it's pretty evident it is Atlanta. I think they have arguably one of the best wide receiver trios in all of the NFL. In a Julio Jones, in Calvin Ridley, and a Mohamed Sanu. And it's just the way that their offense has been performing has been absolutely terrible. It's hard to see. And the defense isn't helping them out all that much either, so I'm going to go with them. But then we go to one of my favorite divisions. I mean, let me preface this next question by saying, like, I'm doing this because it's in the outline. I really don't want to ask this question. I really don't want to ask this question because I feel like it's pretty straightforward. Who would you say is the best? Right, we're a quarter of the season. Who would you say is the best in the NFC East? I'll let you answer first. I'll answer.
All right, fair, no problem. I'm pretty sure we can agree who's the worst, the Washington Redskins, and there's no real reason to have to go and explain that. Just look at the tape. As for terrible. Who's the best,
come on now.
Oh boy, it pains me to say this.
Come on now.
The New York Giants. See, with Danny Dimes, no, it's actually them boys because the Eagles, they're on their way. I believe they'll take their mantle in about 2 weeks, but. The Dallas Cowboys, where they stand right now, being the reigning division champions, the way that they're playing football, outside of this blemish that they just took on their record this past week, they got the best running back in that division. As for quarterback, they don't got the best quarterback in the division, but still, no, Carson Wentz is better. But regardless, Dallas is coming to play. Defense still looks legit. Regardless of how the Saints were able to win the game, the defense still held them to nothing but field goals and did not give up a touchdown. So I'm rolling with the Cowboys to be the best team in the NFC East until the Philadelphia Eagles say otherwise, although the way that they're playing right now, who knows if they'll be consistent. But I got the Dallas Cowboys best team in the NFC East.
Big Dak, Big Zeke, Big Coop, Big Me. Why? I don't even like talking about this anymore because I feel like it's disrespectful to me and my team and what we've accomplished and what we've done. Like I said, point period. We're about to go back home, back to the crib. All right, we're gonna have the Packers come through. We're gonna smack shellac, take them up the street, and have all of that. And remind y'all, who's the best team in the NFC East? I'm trying to tell you. I know what I know. Stop being disrespectful. Mind your business. All right. It's easily the Dallas Cowboys. As for the worst, it's the Redskins. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. Jay Gruden is going to lose his job after this week. Hopefully, it's really, really bad.
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be really, really bad. But then after that, we got the NFC.
AFC.
Oh, AFC. I'm bugging. Now this is going to be an interesting one because I don't know if we're going to agree on this. AFC North, best in the AFC North right now. Take your time.
Best in the AFC North. You know what? I'm gonna have to go with the Cleveland Browns. I would have loved to say it's the Baltimore Ravens, but back-to-back losses in which their offense underperformed.
Right.
Mark Ingram did his job against Kansas City, but Lamar Jackson, the offense is supposed to run through him.
Yep.
He did not play good the past 2 games.
Right.
Shody was a liability down the stretch when it came to throwing because back-to-back interceptions in under 35 seconds. What are you doing, brother? What are you doing? Defensively, their defense has underperformed once again. And this Ravens defense is supposed to be very vaunted coming into the season. So all of those names that they happen to lose, are they not able to overcompensate? What is going on? The Cleveland Browns, the past 2 games, I believe week 3 against the Jets, they played decent. They didn't play as good as we thought they would, but this past week they played absolutely sensational. They gave the ball to Nick Chubb, 165 yards on the ground, 3 TDs, Jarvis Landry 8 catches, 167 yards. Odell only had 2 catches for 20 yards, and they're playing like this. Just wait until Odell gets going. I'd say that the Cleveland Browns are the best team as of right now in the AFC North. As for the worst, it's them Bengals. Now, you can let me know what you think.
It is easily, well, I don't want to say easily because I don't want to disrespect the Ravens, but the fact of the matter is right now it's looking like the Cleveland Browns. Fact of the matter is this. I said it last week about the Ravens, and I'm going to say it again. I didn't want to take anything away from what Lamar Jackson did in the first 2 games. But let's just call it what it is. It's not just about who you do. It's not just about what you do. Mm-hmm. It's about who you do it against. And the fact of the matter is that the first game was against the Miami Dolphins. The second game was against who? Was it fucking Cardinals? No.
I believe it was Arizona.
It was Arizona, right? So for me, I didn't want to take anything away from the performance that the team put on, especially. And I still right now to believe that after Kansas City, I'd say that the Baltimore Ravens have one of the more prolific offenses in the game right now, given what they have. But fact of the matter is
That's
that
a word prolific.
Yeah, prolific. You know what I'm saying? I got that vocab.
No, it's interesting you use that to describe the Ravens.
I got that vocab. Let me speak.
All right.
There you go. Boom. So, fact of the matter is that the Cleveland Browns is definitely the best team. On paper, they have the. Oh, I'm sorry. Is everything okay?
Prolific.
I'm sorry.
Can I Ravens?
No. Can I continue?
Continue.
No. It's all. Do you want to speak?
No, continue.
Okay. All right. Anywho, so you gonna keep. You gonna keep.
No. Just
you being disrespectful. That's what it is. This is going on here. Fact of the matter is this: the Cleveland Browns are clearly the best team in the AFC North. When you got the Baltimore Ravens, you got back-to-back losses, one of them being a divisional against the Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb has been playing outstanding, and like I said before, as much talent as the Cleveland Browns have, they got to run it through. They got to run the offense through Chubb. I think he can definitely help. He's definitely helped to get things moving. He's slowly but surely, you start to see the chemistry come together. I like the Cleveland Browns. As for the worst, I mean, why are we even talking about this? The Bengals, man.
Yeah.
It's bad. Zach Taylor, the head coach, Andy Dalton. I don't know. I think they need to give Vontaze Burfict a call. I don't know if he's not playing for the rest of the season, but it'd be nice to have him around. I think it'd be nice to have. He give him a nice little pep talk.
What they need to do is call Yugi Moto because they need a monster reborn. Their team is dead. They need all the help that they can get. Get Nurse Joy on the phone. Take him to the Pokemon Center.
You know it's bad, when you lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But next up, we got the AFC. What was it? AFC South. Also another interesting one. I gotta ask you, brother. Who would you say right now? Best and worst team in the AFC South. This is also another interesting one.
Well, given this division has the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans, and the Indianapolis Colts. This is a very confusing division. Because where we stand right now, everybody's 2-2.
Yeah.
From what I believe, I would have to say,
come on now. Don't be careful. Be careful. Don't you do it. Don't do it.
It is the
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
Tennessee Titans. Because the way I see it, yes, I'd have to say it's the Tennessee Titans. Because out of everybody here, the Houston Texans, in my opinion, when it comes to talent, the Houston Texans is the best team. But the way that they're playing and their failure to protect Deshaun Watson, I can't give them that moniker. The Tennessee Titans, they have a very weird dynamic.
Okay.
Which is their defense can perform, quote unquote, when you need them to, but not when you want them to.
Right.
The Indianapolis Colts, they're having some offense woes. Defensively, they're falling behind early and constantly having to play catch up. The Jacksonville Jaguars, well, they're just, Leonard Fournette finally found his way to play football, but I don't know how to judge them just yet.
Okay.
So
it's really a toss-up.
It's really a toss-up for any team because the best team in the league, the best team in that division could be the Titans, and the worst team in the division could be the Titans. So you really don't know who. But I'm gonna say the Titans are the best team right now in the AFC South, and the worst team, the Colts?
Really?
I don't know. I'd love to say Jacksonville, but I don't know. Jacksonville, Minshew is rubbing his nutsack on defense with his porn stash. Y'all mustache brothers. I don't want to disrespect you. So,
you know what's crazy?
I don't know.
It's funny we talk about it could go either way because your choices are my choices flipped. I actually think the Indianapolis Colts right now
it's fair.
Are the best team in the AFC South, and I think that the worst team is the AFC Titans. The Tennessee Titans. For me, I think that it comes down to I look at it from it comes down to quarterback play, right? So now with Gardner Minshew, I'm not going to be quick to jump on that train because, he's hot right now. Let's give him some time and see what happens, right? And then from there, you got Marcus Mariota. I have no faith in that man whatsoever. I think that the offense goes through Derrick Henry. That's just me. So then for me, it comes down to the Houston Texans, and it also comes Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. I like what I'm seeing from Jacoby Brissett. I think that Deshaun Watson goes as far, not to take anything away from him, but if we're going off these 4 games, I think that his performance has been very strongly dependent on how D-Hop plays. And D-Hop, for I believe, excluding he hasn't been performing. He just hasn't been showing up much, right? Excluding that one game that he had against the Saints where he balled the fuck out. But the fact of the matter is, I like what I'm seeing from Brissett right now. I think on the season he has like 10 touchdowns, like 2 interceptions, something like that. I'm rolling with the Colts. As for worse, like I said, I have no faith whatsoever in Marcus Mariota.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to tie. But it's a toss-up. You really could pick and choose. You really could pick and choose.
There's no concrete answer for the AFC South. I'd say you can mix and match them how you want. You can't get me to disagree. So you can make an argument for any team who's the best, who's the worst, because they're all pretty much neck and neck. The AFC East.
Come on,
not really that much of a question. The best team, the Patriots. The worst team, the Dolphins. And that's pretty much they're worse than the Jets. They're worse than the Jets. The Jets are just dealing with a bunch of injuries, but those people will come back. The Dolphins, everybody is there. So because it's not even a question. The Bills could have possibly made it happen, but they could have made it happen in beating New England this past week.
Got you.
Because you held New England to under 250 yards, and still, because of the 3 interceptions from Josh Allen, Matt Barkley coming in to play reliever and did not play very well at that. The Bills had an opportunity to say they were the best team there, but ultimately, it's same old story. Patriots at the best, and either Jets or Dolphins at the bottom, but I'm going with the Dolphins at the bottom.
Once again, no-brainer. Clearly, the Miami Dolphins are the best. No, let me stop. The New England Patriots are the best team in the AFC East right now. I don't know if you agree with this, but right now, New England's defense is looking like the best defense in the football.
I agree.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Some are saying that this is probably the best defense that Bill has ever coached. You can attest to that better than I could. I'm not.
They're close, given their numbers, but they're not going to play. They haven't played anybody whose offense has been so doggone dynamic to where it's like you got to shut them completely down. Although Pittsburgh has a quote-unquote high-powered offense, coming into the season, they always happen to start slow, and more importantly, you just had a situation where you lost your 2 best players outside of your quarterback in that opening game. So they underperformed. What happened was a shellacking, but outside of that, the Patriots ain't really faced no offensive juggernauts.
Fact of the matter is, man, the Patriots easily. Listen, when you play in a sorry division like the AFC East, granted, let's give some credit to the Buffalo Bills because they have looked impressive thus far. But fact of the matter is, we know that this division runs through New England. It's no question. Defensively, just a bunch of ballers. Devin McCourty, I think now 4 games in a row.
4 straight picks.
4 straight picks. Jamie Collins is a baller. Stephon Gilmore arguably might be the best corner in the game right now. It has to be New England. As for the worst, Dolphins. Let me tell you let me tell you something about the Dolphins. I could play for the Dolphins. I think they need me. I think I should reach out.
Don't do
no. I'm trying to tell you what I know.
Don't do that.
Listen, Miami Dolphins. Who's the coach for them right now? Brian Flores.
Yes.
He looks Haitian, so he might Flores. Brian Fleur. Hit me up. You understand? You need a quarterback. You need to receive. They call me Young Taysom back in the hood, right? If you need one, I'm here. I got you. Let me come through.
What hood is this?
What?
Okay, I'm not even going to get into it.
I'm trying to tell you.
AFC West. I would have to say the Chiefs.
Come on.
Best team in the AFC West. The worst team in the AFC West, no clue. I would say is the worst team in the AFC West.
Come on, don't do that. Really? Is it really? Don't be that. Don't come on. Come on. And I can't wait to get to this.
I don't know. You're gonna have to go.
You're hilarious. Best team in the AFC West, arguably the best team in all of the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs. Fact of the matter is this: Patrick Mahomes is on pace to break damn near every quarterback record we have ever seen, ever established, ever in the history of anything ever and ever done. Right? The man is absolutely sensational. This offense is ridiculous, and Lord knows how it's gonna look once Tyreek Hill comes back. They got Watkins. They got Hardman has been balling. Fucking. LaShawn McCoy, arguably the best tight end in the Travis Kelce. It's ridiculous. And their offense is so ridiculous. It takes away from their subpar defense that they have. But the fact of the matter is, I love this team. I love the Kansas City Chiefs.
As for the worst, they're worse.
It's the Broncos. It's not even a discussion.
I tried to avoid it.
It's so hard to watch. The fact that, just a couple years ago, the way that this team, what they did to Carolina, and for them to go into that Super Bowl and win it, now to look at what they've become, it's really sad because at the end of the day, the biggest thing for them is quarterback play. They just haven't been able to figure it out. I don't know what the fuck John Elway was thinking bringing in. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. Because ever since Peyton, it's just been back-to-back duds. Trevor Siemian was a bust. Paxton Lynch bust. Brock Osweiler, he looked all right, and then he ended up getting sent to the Texans. He got exposed. Bust. Now they get average Joe. It is. I feel bad for Vaughn. I want to see
do
Von do good, and I know he's. I think he's a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. If you want to come to the Dallas Cowboys, you can come to the Dallas Cowboys. But it's it's the Broncos, no questions about it. Easily the worst.
Yeah, because I once heard a song that said Lil Nas X was talking about riding till he can't no more on the Old Town Road on a horse. Well, this horse is dead.
Wow,
the Old Town Road is
over.
The road is filled with L.
It's over.
Right?
Take the L out of love. It's over, brother. It's over.
Don't do that.
No,
all I know is for the Broncos,
it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
Much like this episode. So there's a lot because the Broncos need to pack it in.
Yeah,
and
send it home.
Yeah.
Huh? And send it home. Just like we getting ready to send home this episode. Terrible segue, but fuck it. That concludes episode number 11 of the Hold My Nuggets podcast. I am your boy, Marv Glover, natural born lover, took a baby in some covers, go kiss his mother. And across from me is my geyser.
Geyser? I'm a
my
geyser?
Guy. No,
I'm filled with water?
Well,
that's interesting. But the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the chiseled Adonis. And this has been episode 11 on the Hold My Nuggets podcast, where we do what? Talk 50% sport, 50% real shit, 100% of the time.
And if you don't like that, you can hold my nuggets.
Suck my dick.
Thank you. Good night.